Hey, good morning. It's Friday. It's Friday. And it's Fortune Cookie Friday. So we're going to do the silver packages today. Hey, good morning. This is the 5am Mester Scrum. I'm Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And we're here to talk about Agile and Scrum in a practical and tactical way. Put out a video the other day, some more TikTok, Demento stuff, just for the fun part with the kids. And just experimenting, learning stuff. So they have fun. They have a ball when they do it. And seeing what works, what doesn't work, and doing little micro Agile experiments. We're treating it very Agile-like and learning little things at a time versus doing elaborate things and nothing works, right? It's a classic waterfall versus Agile. Have some fun, get some value out of the little experiments, learn as we go rather than let's build a multi-million-dollar Lego Mento set. Anyway, that's just fun. We're here to talk about Agile and Scrum and help you get home to your family and friends and build product to for your customers in a lean, more productive way so that you can balance work and life like you do, have some fun, and have some fun, right? Gotta have some fun at work, because if this ain't fun, it ain't no fun. And you enjoy what you do, right? And do that. And I just like Agile. It's fun stuff. Anyway, it's Friday. We're going to do Fortune Cookie Friday. And I got a couple things I got questions. So the title of this episode is Questions versus Answers. So we're going to talk about that a little bit and how that you talk in short term, long term. And we're going to, here's the question. And then retrospectives. We're going to talk a little bit about retrospectives. This Friday, a lot of retrospectives going on. Just my thought, some notes I've been about inner reflection versus outer reflection. And what you can do as a team, a different technique that you can apply. All right. So the first part, are you as a coach helping people to become better at what they do, or helping them produce more in the here and now? And that goes to the questions versus the answers. I've been to a lot of places and respectful coaches and people that have done a lot of coaching, and even places that I work for and people I work for. Sometimes they want the Agile coaches to give them the answer right away. And I think I even commented on a LinkedIn post about the guy made a comment the other day. It was funny. I was watching it. It's like, well, if you're any good as an Agile coach, you already know the answer, and why are you asking the question? Sometimes the question is more important than the answer. The act of trying to come up with questions makes people think and build a better solution. And the reason why I say, are you telling them what to do versus doing it? So, like, from my experience and stuff I've done, a lot of times I have the answer. And I can give it to you right then. I can tell you exactly how to do it. But is it better that the group learns how to communicate, work together on a solution, own the solution, and implement the solution which they own themselves and take credit for it, versus me telling them the answer all the time? There's a lot of thought out there that says, we are the Agile coach. We need the answer now. Give us the answer now. Sometimes yeah, sometimes no. You as an Agile coach have to decide whether or not this is a growth moment first. It's not going to really do anything right now. Why don't you try this technique? Or have them understand why that is the right answer. So by not just giving answers right away, maybe asking the questions and getting the people to think about it. It's kind of why we as coaches ask a lot of powerful questions, to get people to think. With the powerful questions are the ideas, get the brain working, right? But there is a movement out there that Agile coaches give them the answer, give them text. Like, they want Agile coaches in some places to be technical and be a technical coach and solve technical questions and actually contribute technically to the solution. And I don't know necessarily that's true or not. It can be. Some places it is, like the conversation we had the other day. And maybe I went a little off topic, a little crazy when I was talking about, the check boxes and complaining about the conversation being had. I didn't think that was the right conversation, right? It wasn't so much the person didn't know what they're doing or an issue regarding that. I was like, there really was no value in that conversation or that question. My thought. I don't know. It was my opinion, right? And it does come out. It is your opinion. It does come out. But the idea is asking the right questions, start trying to prod the questions or get them thinking about dialogue and growing their thought process. Sometimes we have to feed questions in there. It's like, well, does that really fix this? Or is it really, and we'll go into the retrospective question in a second, asking those questions to grow the thought process in the thing. So what I'm just getting at on this first part, sometimes giving the answer isn't the right answer to do in the first place. Even though you know the answer is right, there's probably an 80% chance that that is the correct answer. Question is, does your team ever do that? And as an Agile coach, and I always look at Agile coaches, connecting the people around the world and finding how long you're as an Agile coach. Most Agile coaches aren't working in companies very long. And the whole purpose behind it, are you doing the short game or long game, right? Short game, I give you a solution. I'm more productive than you. I give you something, get through a solution, an answer. Don't know if that's necessarily the right one. The question is, I want to get you to that solution quicker, right? Help you develop that process yourself, because I'm not going to be there in 6 months. Well, I'm usually there for an hour, a year and a half, 2 years or something like that, depending on the company. But most of the time, I've seen lots, they're not there more than 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. They're out the door, right? So that depends on where that's going to stand. Nope. Do it. Hi. Eddie's here with his birthday gift. Do you want to show him what I just told everybody not to do? He's got a horn. Who's this? Who's this guy? Unspeakable. Big YouTuber. Birder. Anyway, don't play that now, please. Don't do it. Anyway, so kind of ended that topic with the announcement. Eddie entered the room. And you know it's 5:41 in the morning? Mm-hmm. Okay. Don't get all grumpy today, okay? Talk to your cat. She's over there looking at where you go. Anyway, okay. So that's all I was going to talk about. Sometimes the Agile coach just doesn't necessarily give the direct answer. I have met people that are like, no, you just got to tell them exactly what to do, because you know what to do all the time. And it's like, well, yeah, but that doesn't last very long. Okay. The second item, retrospectives. And what I wrote was, maybe during the retrospective, maybe do an inner reflection of how the team did on exterior items. Like, a lot of times people get into a bitch session during a retrospective. Oh, this doesn't work. That group didn't do this. This team didn't do us for any good. The environment's down. The data's bad. The whatever. They bitch session. It becomes a bitch session, right? You got to get the teams to look inward, right? And when they're doing the retrospective, I call it maybe an inward retrospective. How can the team do better and minimize the impact of all these external items? Just having a bitch session about external people, managers, people, whatever, that make your life miserable. We as coaches and Scrum Masters had to get them to reflect in, okay, yeah, there's a thing out there. Is there anything we can do and to fix that, right? I hear a lot of buts, but this, but that. I'm like, but you can control this part, and that will minimize. It may not eliminate that problem, but it'll minimize and make it smaller impact on what you do. Maybe you need to do that. Take advantage of what you have control over and minimize the exterior influences. So when you do your retrospective, when they start talking about external things, or maybe all they do is talk about external. Maybe you need, and this is where we ask those questions, this is where you let them grow, but sometimes as a coach, you have to help them, guide them in what they should have a conversation about. Maybe there's so much bitching about nothing gets improved that now as a coach, it's like, you know what? you guys really need to focus on some internal things that you can control and improve as a team. There's a case where you're not just letting them come up with the answers, but you're kind of asking questions. It's like, well, what can you control as a team? What things can you do as a team internally to minimize that activity? And you're asking these questions to try to shape the conversation to come up with a solution versus I can tell them, do a stub, I can tell them, here's your solution. I can say, go Google it. Here's you find your answer, right? Or I can have them kind of talk about it themselves and grow as a team. I want them to grow as a team. So anyway, there's just simple things. It is Friday. Don't want to go too crazy deep on a Friday, right? Because we're going to have fun. Saturday's coming. My neighbors and I are like, yeah, tomorrow's Friday. We don't have to work on Saturday. Yeah, we're going to do it, So with that, let's go Fortune Cookie Friday. Yay, Fortune Cookie Friday. Fortune Cookie Friday. Gotta be a little goofy, man. It's boring. And the sealed Agile accountant bag, the famous Fortune cookie, in an inner sealed envelope shaped in a cookie. This one's a chocolate one. The chocolate one's really actually not bad. What we do is we take a Fortune cookie and we open it up, take whatever's in it, and see how it applies to Agile and Scrum. Or can we apply it to Agile and Scrum? I mean, it's a contest, right? So let's see what it says. What does the famous Fortune cookie say this Friday? In the new year, a little gambling does not hurt. You know where these Fortune cookies came from. In the new year, a little gambling does not hurt. Okay. Now, again, this is where you come up with everybody has an answer. These are my thoughts. Anybody else want to add anything onto it? You're more than welcome to comment on what they think in the new year, a little gambling doesn't hurt, can apply to Agile and Scrum or whatever you want to talk about in the world. What I would add this is we talked a couple episodes ago about experimenting, right, in the new year. So in the new sprint, I'm using the New Year's symbology with the new sprint. It's okay to gambling. It says a little gambling. You notice the little part? We talked about trying little experiments and doing little things. So it's okay to do a little experiment with your software code and the work you're doing to see if you can make it better, right? Go ahead and do a process improvement. See if the process improvement makes it better. We're only talking about 2 weeks of time. It's not like you're building something to revolutionize the world, right? And that was something I'll have to bring that up another day. People ask about changing these global things, and I have to walk them through the process of don't think that way. I have to have them think Agile. But anyway, back to the Fortune cookie. So the idea is that gamble. Try little experiments, little gamblings in the new sprint. Try some new capabilities, do something that may or may not apply. It's okay, right? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There's risk associated. But if you don't try, you'll never know, right? You see those meetings where everybody goes, but, excuse, can't do it. It's not like that. Give it a shot. It's not going to hurt you. As the Fortune cookie says. Fortune cookie says, in the new year, in the new sprint, a little gambling, a little risk, a little try, a little agile thinking does not hurt. A little gambling does not hurt. Totally agree with the Fortune cookie. And with that, please give us a thumbs up if you like it. It is Friday. Ring the bell so you can get messages when we put new topics out there. And you all have an awesome Friday. We'll be here Saturday and Sunday, and we'll be back. With that, take care. Happy scrumming. Enjoy your day, and bye. See ya.